Guys, this is absolutely crazy news coming out of the Apple supply chain and rumor community right now. We have had the standard AirPods, we have had the AirPods Pro, we have seen the overhead AirPods Max line, and it now looks like Apple is preparing to introduce an all-new high-end tier to their audio lineup called the AirPods Ultra. These are supposedly positioning themselves as the most advanced, high-tech pair of hearables that Apple has ever created, merging traditional acoustic engineering with spatial computing, ambient computer vision, and on-device artificial intelligence. Today, I want to break down every single piece of information, leak, supply chain report, and patent application detailing what makes these flagship earbuds so unique, how their hardware differs from previous generations, and why this particular release marks a monumental shift for the personal audio market. To truly understand why Apple is choosing to venture into the Ultra territory for their audio lineup, we have to look back at the history of how AirPods transformed from a widely ridiculed accessory into one of the most profitable hardware sectors in the modern technology industry. It has been roughly 10 years since Apple first unveiled the original AirPods alongside the removal of the traditional 3.5mm headphone jack on the iPhone 7. At the time, critics doubted whether wire-free earbuds would stay in people's ears or deliver decent sound quality. However, within a few short years, those original white stems became a massive cultural status symbol and laid the foundation for an entirely new product category. Over the last decade, we have seen massive iterations across the entire portfolio. We had the second-generation model that introduced hands-free Siri commands and wireless charging cases. Then came the first-generation AirPods Pro, which completely revolutionized the active noise cancellation market by introducing silicone ear tips, transparency mode, and pressure equalizer vents to prevent that uncomfortable sealed feeling in the ear canal. Following that success, Apple decided to venture into the premium over-ear space with the AirPods Max, bringing computational audio, stainless steel canopy arms, and digital crown controls to high-fidelity audio enthusiasts. More recently, the main lineup evolved with open-ear noise cancellation on the AirPods 4, while the Pro line moved into its third iteration and the Max received updated USB-C connectivity alongside refined audio drivers. With every tier of the lineup fully matured, tech analysts and audio engineers have been wondering what the next logical step could possibly be for personal audio hardware. Since this year marks the official 10-year anniversary of the original AirPods line, Apple appears ready to celebrate a decade of wireless audio by introducing a true luxury, feature-packed flagship with the AirPods Ultra. The centerpiece of every recent leak surrounding the AirPods Ultra involves an unexpected hardware inclusion that has caught the entire technology industry off guard, and that is the implementation of miniature built-in cameras positioned directly on the exterior body of each earbud. At first glance, putting cameras on a pair of wireless earbuds sounds completely bizarre, and it naturally raises a lot of questions about user privacy, battery consumption, and actual practical utility. However, when you analyze Apple's broader hardware roadmap specifically regarding spatial computing, augmented reality, and contextual artificial intelligence, the inclusion of computer vision inside your ears starts to make incredible strategic sense. Supply chain reports indicate that these camera modules are not high-resolution sensors designed for traditional photography or consumer video recording. Instead, they are extremely low-power, ultra-wide-angle infrared or monochrome computer vision sensors engineered to capture environmental data in real time. There are currently two primary theories regarding how Apple intends to leverage these camera sensors to transform the user experience. The first major implementation centers around contextual audio adjustment based on environmental awareness. Right now, features like adaptive audio on the AirPods Pro use exterior microphones to monitor decibel levels around you, automatically lowering sound or raising noise cancellation depending on how loud your surroundings are. However, acoustic microphones can only tell you how loud an environment is. They cannot tell you where you actually are or what kind of social setting you are occupying. By incorporating ultra-wide computer vision sensors, the AirPods Ultra will be able to visually analyze your surroundings and dynamically calibrate their performance based on precise contextual awareness. For example, if you are riding on a crowded commuter train, the exterior cameras can visually detect the tight seating layout and interior train structures, signaling the audio processor to maximize active noise cancellation to block out track rumble while simultaneously limiting sound bleed from the drivers so you do not bother the passenger sitting next to you. Conversely, if the sensors recognize that you are standing inside a quiet public library or an office reading room, the system can automatically adjust driver output to keep sound leakage to absolute zero while keeping transparency mode subtly tuned for soft-spoken voices. If you step onto a busy construction site, a transit hub, or a noisy airport terminal, the cameras can recognize high-risk or chaotic surroundings, increasing alert monitoring so you remain aware of approaching vehicles or hazardous machinery while boosting voice clarity during hands-free phone calls. The second, and arguably more transformative, use case for built-in camera sensors on the AirPods Ultra is deep integration with Apple Intelligence and the next-generation Siri Assistant. By placing tiny, ultra-wide sensors on both sides of your head, Apple can provide its multimodal artificial intelligence system with a continuous, first-person view of your surroundings. This functions similarly to a wide-angle security or doorbell camera, capturing a broad field of view without requiring you to hold up an iPhone or look through a screen. Imagine walking down a street in an unfamiliar city, looking toward a historic landmark, and simply asking Siri to explain the history of the building in front of you. The cameras on your AirPods Ultra can instantly capture a low-power snapshot, process the visual image through Apple Intelligence, and relay a real-time voice explanation directly into your ears. If you are browsing a menu at a restaurant in a foreign country, you could ask your earbuds to read out the daily specials or translate specific items on the fly. If you misplace your keys or your wallet on a desk, you could ask Siri where you last left them, and the system could analyze recent visual frames cached by the AirPods to tell you their exact location. This level of ambient, hands-free spatial awareness creates a seamless bridge between physical reality and digital assistance, laying the groundwork for how humans will interact with artificial intelligence without staring at smartphone screens all day. It is equally important to clarify what these cameras will definitely not be used for, addressing widespread consumer concerns regarding privacy and hardware practicality. Many tech enthusiasts initially worried that camera-equipped AirPods would be used for mainstream video recording, social media vlogging, or continuous athletic recording while running or cycling. However, from an engineering perspective, using earbud-mounted cameras for traditional video recording is fundamentally impractical. To begin with, human ear anatomy varies wildly from person to person. One ear canal is almost always shaped slightly differently or positioned at a subtly different angle or height than the other. Furthermore, when people insert earbuds, they twist and rotate them to achieve a secure acoustic seal. This means two camera sensors positioned in opposite ears would rarely align on a level horizon line, making combined stereoscopic or traditional landscape video recording nearly impossible without severe image distortion. Additionally, continuous high-definition video capture would generate extreme thermal output and drain the tiny lithium-ion batteries inside the earbud stems within minutes. Therefore, these camera sensors will be strictly dedicated to low-power visual sampling, environmental feature mapping, and spatial context gathering for Apple Intelligence, rather than standard video capture. For users who actually want dedicated wearable video recording, hardware form factors like smart glasses or augmented reality headsets remain much better suited for that specific purpose. To power these advanced computer vision algorithms, real-time spatial processing, and higher fidelity sound Rivers, Apple is set to debut their next-generation custom audio silicon, the H3 chip, inside the AirPods Ultra. Apple's audio processors have always been the secret sauce behind their hearable success. We saw the original H1 chip bring seamless device switching and lower latency audio, while the H2 chip introduced double the active noise cancellation performance, computational transparency modes, and enhanced energy efficiency when it launched alongside the AirPods Pro 2. However, the H2 architecture is now several years old, having been reused across various models including the AirPods 4, AirPods Pro 3, and AirPods Max 2. The upcoming H3 chip represents a massive architectural leap forward, moving to a smaller node process that drastically increases transistor density while maintaining tight thermal and power budgets. With the H3 chip driving the AirPods Ultra, active noise cancellation capabilities are expected to reach unprecedented levels. Supply chain information suggests that the H3 processor dramatically increases the real-time sample rate at which the internal and external microphones analyze ambient sound waves. By sampling ambient noise thousands of times per second with a significantly higher processing frequency, potentially up to 50% faster than the H2 chip, the system can neutralize unpredictable, high-frequency background sounds that traditional noise-canceling headphones struggle with, such as sudden metallic clatters, screaming children, or wind noise during high-speed outdoor activities. Furthermore, the H3 processor will feature dedicated neural engine cores specifically optimized to process visual data from the new camera sensors and manage real-time voice isolation algorithms, ensuring that your voice sounds crystal clear on phone calls even when standing in extreme wind or chaotic urban environments. Beyond processing power and smart features, hardware upgrades on the AirPods Ultra are heavily focused on extending internal battery life and upgrading the portable charging case ecosystem. Running dual ultra-wide camera sensors, complex computational audio algorithms, and high-frequency active noise cancellation requires a substantial amount of electrical power. To offset this increased power consumption, Apple is incorporating higher-density battery cells within both the earbud stems and the accompanying charging case, alongside the energy-saving benefits offered by the H3 chip's smaller architecture. Users can expect the AirPods Ultra to offer equal or superior battery performance compared to current flagship models, delivering extended listening time on a single charge even with spatial audio, ambient camera sampling, and active noise cancellation fully engaged. The charging case itself is set to receive significant hardware enhancements to reflect its Ultra branding. Built with premium materials like brushed titanium or reinforced precision-machined aluminum accents, the case will incorporate all of Apple's latest ecosystem features. This includes an integrated MagSafe array for effortless alignment with wireless charging pads and Apple Watch chargers, a built-in precision speaker capable of playing distinct location chimes for Find My tracking, and an updated lanyard loop that doubles as an antenna housing. Furthermore, modern precision tracking with ultra-wideband technology will allow users to locate a lost case or individual misplaced earbuds down to the exact inch, complete with directional visual guidance on their iPhone screens. The case will also continue the transition to USB-C, offering fast charging capabilities that can deliver hours of playback time from just a few minutes of charging. When we consider the broader competitive landscape and Apple's overall hardware portfolio, the introduction of an AirPods Ultra tier aligns perfectly with the company's recent product strategy across other device categories. Over the past few years, Apple has explicitly used the Ultra moniker to signify peak performance, rugged build quality, and cutting-edge feature sets for power users who want the absolute best hardware available regardless of price. We saw this first with the Apple Watch Ultra, which introduced a titanium enclosure, dual-frequency GPS, extended battery life, and specialized diving features for extreme athletes. We have seen similar design philosophies applied to high-end silicon like the M-series Ultra chips designed for demanding creative workflows. By extending THE Ultra tier to their hearables category, Apple establishes a clear differentiation between everyday consumer audio products like the standard AirPods, mid-range balanced options like the AirPods Pro, and the absolute pinnacle of wearable technology with the AirPods Ultra. Given the milestone nature of this release, everyone is asking when we can expect the AirPods Ultra to officially be announced and how much they are going to cost. Since the original AirPods made their initial debut roughly 10 years ago, this anniversary milestone creates the perfect backdrop for a major hardware unveiling. Apple typically holds its primary autumn hardware keynote in September to launch its latest flagship iPhone lineup and updated smartwatches. It is highly likely that the AirPods Ultra could be officially introduced on stage alongside the rumored iPhone Ultra or iPhone Pro models during this September event. Alternatively, if Apple decides to dedicate their September keynote exclusively to smartphones and wearables like the Apple Watch, they could hold a secondary hardware event in October or November focused on Mac updates, iPad hardware, and high-end audio gear. Because the AirPods Ultra represent such a radical redesign with built-in camera sensors and new silicon architecture, Apple is almost certainly going to give them dedicated stage time during a full keynote presentation rather than releasing them quietly through a press release on their newsroom website. In terms of pricing, prospective buyers should prepare for a noticeably higher price tag compared to current earbuds in Apple's lineup. Right now, the AirPods Pro sit at a standard price point of $249, serving as the go-to option for users who want active noise cancellation and silicon ear tips. The high-end over-ear AirPods Max sit significantly higher in the lineup at $549. Considering the expensive miniaturized camera modules, the custom H3 audio silicon, premium case materials, and advanced Apple Intelligence integration, the AirPods Ultra will comfortably occupy the price bracket between the Pro and the Max models. Industry predictions estimate that the AirPods Ultra will launch at a starting price somewhere between $349 and $399. While that represents a significant financial investment for a pair of in-ear headphones, Apple is banking on the unique combination of spatial computing capabilities, camera-assisted Apple Intelligence features, and class-leading noise cancellation to justify the premium cost for tech enthusiasts and early adopters who want to experience the future of wearable computing. In summary, the rumored AirPods Ultra represent far more than just a routine annual spec bump for Apple's popular headphone line. By combining low-power computer vision, the advanced computational capabilities of the H3 chip, enhanced battery technology, and deep integration with Apple Intelligence, Apple is aiming to transform earbuds from simple music playback devices into fully aware ambient computing accessories. As we approach the official anniversary milestone, all eyes are on Apple to see how they will redefine personal audio once again. Whether you are an audio enthusiast looking for the absolute best noise cancellation available, a tech lover excited about hands-free artificial intelligence interactions, or simply someone keeping track of the latest hardware trends, the AirPods Ultra are shaping up to be one of the most intriguing and consequential product launches of the year.